do you and Congressman Scalise and Jordan want scientists to testify under oath about the emails that you guys got that they privately warned Dr. Fauci they believed the pandemic leaked out of a lab in China? Why do you want them to testify under oath?
Well, this is a big deal, and we've asked Dr. Fauci to come before the Oversight Committee. He loves to talk on TV, he loves to answer questions, but he won't do anything in front of any Republicans for whatever reason. So we've decided to now turn our attention on the scientists, because we discovered emails between the scientists and Dr. Fauci in February of 2020, right at the onset of COVID-19 in the United States, where they said, this looks like this was man-made and this had to come from the lab in Wuhan. Several of the scientists said that. There were 7 that were emailing Dr. Fauci and Dr. Collins at various times. 3 days later, then Dr. Fauci has a conference call with these scientists. Then 48 hours after the phone call, they all signed a paper that said that there was no way this could have come from the Wuhan lab. Anyone that thinks this is a lab leak theory is obviously a conspiracy theorist. So we want to know what happened over the course of 3 days to go from this is obviously a lab leak and this appears to be man-made to where this was not a lab leak and this was obviously from a bat to a human.
Are you finding, does your team, do the other congressmen and their team, did they get $50 million in research grant money at least between 2020 and 2021 from Dr. Fauci's agency? Is that true?
That is true, Liz. And that's one thing that we discovered after we got the transcribed emails, was that several of these scientists received substantial grants from the NIH. Now, we're not saying there's anything wrong here. We're giving these scientists an opportunity to come testify. Every American wants to know the origination of COVID-19. And the fact that the Democrats won't hold a single hearing on that is very concerning. What are they trying to hide? If there's no funny business that went on here, if there's just lots of coincidences, then come before the committee and tell your side of the story. We deserve to know the truth, and we're not going to let up. They can do it now, or they can wait till January when the Republicans have the gavel. They're going to come before this committee, and they're going to tell us exactly what went wrong and why they did such a 180 from this is obviously a lab leak and this was man-made to this could never have been man-made and this was not a lab leak.
They've never found the animal host. They've never found the specific genome that is in COVID-19 in nature. The Wuhan lab scientist, Xijing Li, in her magazine article, she didn't cite what the data was behind that genome, but in the corresponding data supporting her research, it's there. It's really rapid pathogenicity, rapid infectiousness. We've never seen it skyrocket from SARS and MERS didn't take off like this. For it to evolve in nature, we would have seen it already. We didn't. So that's the point, right? And so there's such an ill-informed panic that's driving policy, and also, on vaccines, and people can't even talk about, hey, we're worried about the side effects. There's such a shutdown, bullying mentality that's coming down, top down. Your final word on that.
Well, remember, they lied about using tax dollars to fund gain-of-function research. We found that out. The House Oversight Committee found that out. Now, what we've also found out is Dr. Fauci never warned President Trump or any of President Trump's advisors that there are some credible scientists out here early on that think this could have been a Wuhan lab. They always dismissed that. And even when President Trump started calling it the Wuhan virus, they said, no, that's not true. That's not true. That couldn't happen. Why didn't they advise President Trump that early on a majority of scientists that are their advisors said this obviously came from the Wuhan lab? What changed over the course of 3 days? That's what we want to know, and we're not going to let up until we get the answers.